Good day, everyone. Welcome to our Music 7 lesson of Quarter 4, the Philippine Festivals. And our most essential learning competencies for this lesson are: number 1, identifies different textures from music samples of the vocal and instrumental. Number 2, distinguishes monophonic, homophonic, and polyphonic texture. Number 3, distinguishes the sound of a major chord from a minor chord. Uses major or minor chords as accompaniment to simple songs. Number 4, identifies musical characteristics of selected Philippine festivals and theatrical forms through video or live performances. Number 5, describes the regions and cultural background of selected Philippine festivals. Number 6, describes how the music contributes to the performance of the musical production. Number 7, describes how a specific idea or story is communicated through music in a particular Philippine musical theater. Number 8, improvises musical accompaniment in relation to a particular Philippine festival. And number 9, performs selections from chosen Philippine musical theater. Our lesson: festivals in the Philippines offer people a chance to exhibit their rich culture and pay homage to the history and patron saints. They are vibrant, big, and celebrated with a lot of pomp and show. No wonder each province has its own Filipino fiesta that they are very proud of. Tourists from all over the world visit the Philippines not just to see its beautiful beaches and breathtaking sights, but also to experience the country's grand festivals that, without a doubt, makes it more fun in the Philippines. At the Atihan Festival in Aklan, if you plan to visit Boracay in January, you might as well watch the locals masquerading as negritos in colorful costumes, dancing and chanting halabira in Aklan for their Atihan Festival. Similar to Cebu's Sinulog Festival, this event is celebrated to honor Santo Niño. Atihan Festival in Aklan is considered to be one of the best festivals in the Philippines. This religious festivity is also one of the oldest Philippine celebrations. The main highlights is the parade of tribes and floats, Atihan street dancing, religious procession, and torch street dancing. This third week of January, people cheer and shout Halabira and Viva Santo Niño to encourage enthusiasm and continuous dancing to the duration of the festival. While listening to the different beat of the music from the different festivals all over the Philippines, observe and identify the different musical textures and musical characteristics being applied and how the theatrical form being showed through their dances. Sinulog. Cebu's head down south to the Quezon City and experience this fiesta in Philippines that celebrates Cebu's patron saint, Santo Niño. This is a week-long event that is done with processions, parties, concerts, colorful and lively street dancing, irresistible drum beats, and parades. The word Sinulog means like the water current, and it's actually the name of the step that the dancers perform. The petitioners' often main highlights fluvial procession of the miraculous image of the Santo Niño. Third Sunday of January, the petitioners often yell, Pit Señor. Next festival is from the Batangas, the Sublian Festival, a 2-week-long celebration which culminates every year on the 23rd of July, is rooted in the Batangueños' devotion to the town's patron, the Holy Cross in Baoan and Agoncillo and the Santo Niño in Batangas City. This religious devotion translated to a dance from indigenous to Batangas, the Subli, traditionally performed to the accompaniment of drums and chanting. The Subli praises the patron in a combination of poetry, movement, and music. Today, the Sublian Festival features not just devotional dance song, but street dancing indigenous Filipino games, harana or serenades, dalupakan, awitan at sayawan, an event which combines the sharing of nilupak or local delicacy made of bananas and sweet potato, with folk songs and dance, and even in Malungayan Fiesta, a day that celebrates the nutritional benefits of the malunggay or moringa. The Sublian Festival also coincides with the city's founding anniversary. It came from two words, sub-sub, bending your body forward or downward, and bali or broken. Activity 1. Identify or distinguish the different characteristics of each Philippine festival. Identify the elements of music being used from the Atihan, Sinulog, and the Sublian Festival. Kadayawan. The Davao Kadayawan is a native expression in the Dabaonan tongue. It's derived from the word madayaw, which means good, valuable, and superior. Dabaweños celebrate the annual Kadayawan as a Thanksgiving festival and a tribute to its indigenous people. This is usually held every third week of August. The main highlights of this event is the Indak-Indak sa Kadalanan, street dancing Kadayawan, floral parade, and the Parada sa Dagat.
Magtanong sa buntag ug sa kapunon, buhat sa kalibay, magtanong kita. Ang anihunon, sa dakong kalibay, tabuta karon.
The Mariunes Festival in Marinduque. The Mariunes is a Lenten festival held annually on Holy Week on the island of Marinduque, Philippines. The Mariunes are men and women in costumes and masks replicating the garb of biblical Roman soldiers as interpreted by local folks. The Mariunes or Mariunan tradition has inspired the creation of other festivals in the Philippines where cultural practices or folk history is turned into street festivals. Number 1. It is a colorful festival celebrated on the island of Marinduque in the Philippines. The participants use Morion masks to depict the Roman soldiers and Syrian mercenaries within the story of the Passion of the Christ. The mask was named after the 16th and 17th century Morion helmet. And number 2, the Moriones refers to the masked and costumed penitents who march around the town for 7 days searching for Longinus. Morions roam the streets in town from Holy Monday to Easter Sunday, scaring the kids or engaging in antics or surprises to draw attention. This is a folk religious festival that reenacts the story of Saint Longinus, a Roman centurion who was blind in one eye. The festival is characterized by colorful Roman costumes, painted masks and helmets, and brightly colored tunics. The towns of Buak, Gasan, Santa Cruz, Buenavista, and Mugpug in the island of Marinduque become one gigantic stage. The observances from part of the Lenten celebrations of Marinduque. The last festival that we're going to discuss is the Ibalong Festival of Legazpi City, Albay. The Ibalong Festival is a non-religious festival in Legazpi City, Albay, Philippines, based on the Ibalong epic and is held in August. The festival celebrates the epic story Ibalong, who was accompanied by 3 legendary heroes, namely Baltug, Handyong, and Bantong. People parade in the streets wearing masks and costumes to imitate the appearances of the heroes and the villains, portraying the classic battles that made their way into the history of Bicol. The Ibalong Festival aims to express warmth and goodwill to all people. Visitors and tourists are encouraged to celebrate with the Bicolanos. The Ibalong Festival is also known as the Ibalon Festival. For your activity performance, create a dance routine using improvised musical production through video presentation of each Philippine festival. Time limit per presentation is 2 minutes. Use indigenous materials for your costumes. You will be graded of the following criteria: musicality 40%, dance routine 30%, costume 30%, a total of 100%. We'll have the activity 2, directions. Match column A with column B. Write the letter of the correct answer on the blanks provided. You may use another sheet of paper. Now let's talk about theater in the Philippines. It's as varied as the cultural traditions and the historical influences that shaped it through the centuries. The dramatic forms that flourish and continue to flourish among the different people of the archipelago includes the indigenous theater, mainly Malay in character, which is seen in rituals, mimetic dances, and mimetic costumes. The plays with Spanish influence, among which are the Comedia, the Cenaculo, the playlets, the zarzuela, and the drama. And the theater with Anglo-American influence, which encompasses vaudeville, and the plays in English, and the modern or original plays by Filipinos, which employ representational and presentational styles drawn from the contemporary modern theater, or revitalize traditional forms from within or outside the country. The Spanish regime gave rise to and popularized the various types of secular and religious plays. The former usually staged to celebrate town fiestas and the latter to highlight important Catholic liturgical feasts or seasons like Christmas, Lent, or Easter. Many of these plays continue to be popularized among the Christianized folk who live in the rural areas and compose the majority of the total population. The American colonial and contemporary tradition, short as it was, had a profound effect on the 20th century Philippine theater, first in form and latter in philosophy. This influence is seen in the Philippine vaudeville, the Western play as presented in English or in Filipino, and the original modern plays written by contemporary playwrights. Theater is one of the leading dramatic arts companies in the country today. It has annual production season that includes the staging of the four classics, Florante at Laura, Cancer, Ibong Adarna, and El Filibusterismo, plays based on the works of national artists for theater and literature, original Filipino musicals by new playwrights based on popular fairy tales and Pinoy folklore. It also partners with government institutions and private partners in mounting of special events. Through the years, PETA has remained as one of the top theater organizations in the country. In its almost 50 years in the industry, the company has developed a multitude creative theater artists who believe that PETA's vision of empowering a citizenry through theater arts. It has also built a network of partners who value culture as medium for change and believe that theater can be a tool for education, social change, and development. Philippine theater. Comedia. It is a theatrical tradition by Filipinos, sometimes in form of singing. It describes conflicts between Christians and Muslims. It was used by the Spanish to promote Christianity in the Philippines. Comes from 16th century Spanish Comedia, a play written in verse which uses traditional methods of marcha, batalla, magical effects, and one of the colorful theatrical traditions used by Spanish to spread Christianity. It spread instantly but was criticized due to lack of national importance and realism. The Comedia is written in 3 to 5 acts, with scientists, or what we call today as intermission, something that will break the ice after an act of the performance. The climax is the Moro Moro, a war dance usually in the tune of march music and accompanied by the community brass band. Secular Comedia, usually performed in town celebrations, popularized in 1600s, is the Moro Moro. Uses stories that revolve around kings, queens, prince, princess, animals, and supernatural beings. Most common topic clash between Christians and Filipino Muslims. Moro Moro. The Moro Moro was later called the Batalla, a closer jargon to the actual scene on stage, the battle between the Christian and the Muslim troops. The delivery of the lines were sung like cold disho. Performers need not memorize their lines because the dictador is always there to provide the lines as the performance proceeded. However, performers had to familiarize themselves with the required movement conventions of the Batalla because audience members usually ask the performers to repeat the war dance over and over again. Tibag or Arakyo, another type of secular comedia in Nueva Ecija that is performed during Santa Cruzan. It is the reenactment of the search for the Holy Cross by Queen Helena and her son, Emperor Constantine. Religious Comedia, mostly performed to enhance religious festivities. It focuses on the life of religious icons. Examples are Siete Palabras, Comediad, San Miguel, and Sinaculo. Zarzuela, an art form of lyric theater drama, comical in nature and is incorporated with singing, dancing, and dialogue. Walang sugat. is one of the most famous zarzuela in the country, written by Severino Reyes. Duplo is a poetic debate presented through song and dance, which originated from indigenous courtship customs. Poets use proverbs and riddles to represent their suit to the women or their choice. This ultimately evolved into a more formal debate on issues and started to be called Dabalagtasan. Sinakulo. Another performing art stemming from religious custom is the Sinakulo or Passion Play. This is the dramatization of the life and death of Jesus Christ and is usually presented as a community activity during the Lenten season. This still endures to the present, ranging from simple productions to more technically sophisticated and modernized version. And the Vaudeville, a stage show that became popular during the Japanese period based on the French vaudeville. It was developed because cities growers wanted to uplift their emotional stability from the usual stage acts to a stage presentation featuring comedy, musical, monologue, skits, impersonators, acrobats, and even magical acts. It formed musical trends and musicians. It helped to make jazz and blues popular and admired in our country. Wolfie Kizon is one of the comedians that is known as the country's king of comedy for his comedic talent on stage, radio, television, and movies. Cathy de la Cruz. She is hailed as the queen of Filipino jazz and the queen of vaudeville for being one of the pioneers of vaudeville in the Philippines. And for our activity 3, answer the following questions. Number 1. A theater in the Philippines usually performed in town celebrations that portrays the clash between Christians and Muslims. Number 2. She is hailed as the queen of Filipino jazz and the queen of vaudeville for being one of the pioneers of vaudeville in the Philippines. Number 3. A type of comedia that enhances religious festivities to Filipinos. Number 4. A theatrical art popularized during the Japanese occupation. It has formed different musical trends and genres such as jazz and blues. Number 5. The famous zarzuela in the country entitled Walang Sugat was written by. Number 6. An art form of lyric theater drama, comical in nature, and it is incorporated with singing, dancing, and dialogue. Number 7. A vaudeville performer and comedian that is known as the country's king of comedy for his comedic talent on stage, radio, television, and movies. Number 8. It is the reenactment of the search for the Holy Cross by Queen Helena and her son, Emperor Constantine II. Number 9. It is written in 3 to 5 acts with scénatus, or what we call today as intermission, something that will break the ice for an act of the performance. And number 10. It is a poetic debate presented through song and dance, which originated from indigenous courtship customs. Poets use proverbs and riddles to represent their suit to the woman of their choice. And so now we are done with our music lesson in quarter 4. When doing your performance, always apply the musical elements and the characteristics of music to give the best output in your final quarter class. Bye-bye and see you on our arts lesson!